Why do I always feel so good every time I go to the beach or I'm out in nature? And I'm a sunrise surfer, and I come home with the biggest buzz on every time. And why it is this thing called negative ions. And it's like my brain always thinks, well, negative and positive. All the positive stuff's good. Yay. The negative stuff's not so good. So out in nature, negative ions, or anions as they're known, they're little electrically charged particles that hold one or two more electrons. You go, yeah, well, what's that mean, Jen? Well, pretty simple. When you're out in the mountains, the forests, waterfalls, beaches, all those kind of things, or if you're using an artificial ionizer, because you can get them nowadays, negative ions are like they're the antioxidants. And they're these little charged particles that just go, have this big impact. They just kind of bombard us with good vibes. They really do. They're created out in nature. Like when you go to the beach, that crashing of the waves, or you know how the after rain and after a thunderstorm, or it's just like earth, you can feel the energy of what nature is. That's a negative ion. Now, get out in nature. That's the positive way to do it, or not positive way to do the negative. Oh, that's the way naturally to do it. But even my sauna, I've got an infrared sauna, and it's got a negative ion generator in it. So that when I lay in the sauna, I'm buzzing myself with negative ions. They're just so good. Research shows us that negative ions can have lots of positive effects on our bodies, including things like improving our mood, reducing our stress, greater sense of well-being. You know how you feel if you've had a day out in the forest, or you've had a day at the beach, or just that fresh feeling after a storm's gone, zapped with them. It's so good. They're also believed to help us with cognitive function, increasing our mental clarity and improving our overall sleep quality. You know how well you sleep if you've had a day out in the beach, the forest, or something like that. You know how good you sleep that night because you've got your body charged up properly. So they're important to harmonize to us and the environment. Now, we're surrounded also in life by positive ions. These are not good. These are this thing I'm talking to at the moment. I've got a big screen, laptop, lights, microphones. It's all going on. They're positive ions, and they're the nasty ones. So everything like the electronic stuff, pollution, air conditioning systems, just all the modern cons are bombarding us with positive ions all the time, and they just throw our bodies out of sync. So negative ions help to balance out, or help to neutralize the positive ions from things like electromagnetic radiation and improving air quality. So the benefits of negative ions goes way beyond just happy moods and stress reduction. There's actually studies that have shown it helps to move SAD, seasonal affective disorder, where they're not exposed to, sunlight and all those kind of things. Also things like anxiety and depression. It's really cool. We need negative ions. Now, you might live in a part of the world where you're not getting out into nature as well. Might be limited with weather and stuff like that sometimes. Because I've got listeners all around the world on this podcast. You might want to check out, negative ion generators. I remember back when I was in my pharmacy days, so I'm going back 40 odd years, or 40 years, we sold negative ion generators back then. They've been around such a long time, but a lot of people don't realize that you can produce negative ions. So where do we normally find them? Get to the forest, get to the waterfalls, get to the ocean. That's your easiest way. Get out into nature. If you can't get out into nature, get at least a salt lamp. The Himalayan salt lamps nowadays, they also create negative ions. We've got them, in 3 different rooms. Like our house is lit. In fact, we run them 24 hours a day. There's that little glow, except for in our bedroom. All the time we're charging up our house. Or otherwise, go and check your health food shop or the chemist shops, drugstores, you call them in North America, for negative ion generators. So they're more than just a natural phenomenon. I think they're endless. Endless for our physical and emotional and mental well-being. They really are. And I learned about them 40 years ago before I burned out and started to study about natural therapies. I've known that they've been really good for us. So if you're feeling a bit taxed and fatigued, especially, even me, as I look here at my desk, I've got a big screen and all the lights and all the bits, but every hour I get out and I walk the garden. And say good day to my plants. I'm picking up those vibes. And really interesting, I'm also newly into electroagriculture, which Nicholas Tesla founded, so to speak, 100 years ago. And I've got copper wire. You can go and Google it, okay? Go and check out electro agriculture, but it's where you're making like antennas with copper wire to pick up all those cool ions that are out there and charge them back into your soil. That's really, really, really cool. And trust me, the plants love it. They absolutely thrive. Bigger, stronger, healthier, and more fruit bearing. So the vibes are out there. We get to tap into the ones we want. We are surrounded, our homes, our workplaces, all those things, with positive, crappy, not ions. We want to bring more negative ions into our life. So get out in nature, get a salt lamp, get a negative ion generator. It's worth it to help keep us sane.